Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Jong with iiRcade Live, episode 26. I think it's 26, 20. Oh my God, I need more fingers. 25 plus 1, 26. Um, yes, time flies. Time really flies. It really feels like yesterday. When we were playing Bomb Squad. That was pretty awesome, wasn't it? I really enjoyed it for sure. My team members were like, "Oh my God, John, we gotta do this again. That was awesome." Um, so everybody had a lot of fun. My son kept on playing after it was over, so I know he was having a lot of fun. That was pretty cool. And afterwards, we saw several or podcasts, I would say, right? Going out, coming out from our awesome YouTubers, and I had a chance to see some of them, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So that's when I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. We should be doing this more. Oh my God. Party is always great, I think. World is all about partying, right? So we should have those more often. And I was talking to Mishik after the show, and we are like, hey, we need to get more online games so that we can do this more often. So that was pretty cool. Um, wow, I just noticed that I was in a different window, and I just saw that all my friends are coming in. How are you, my friends? Thank you so much for joining. Wow, our family, iiRcade family. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Um, wow. Hey, Billy, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Retro Collect, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Hey, Ty, how are you? Thanks for joining. Marco, hey, how's it going? Good afternoon. Thanks for joining. Philip, how are you? Thanks for joining. Mr. Bobby, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Hey, Prince, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Antoine, how are you? Thanks for joining. Hey, John, how are you? Thanks for joining. Nice to see you, everybody. Hey, Gene, how's it going? Thanks for joining. John, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. And my neighbor, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Uh, wow, a lot of people. Hey, Sam, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Wow, I am so overwhelmed. I'm so happy. Everybody's here. Hey, Michael, how's it going? Thank you for joining. Hey, John, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Bill, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Hey, Jose, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Kanti, how are you? Thanks for joining. Daniel, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Wow, lots of people. um, let's see. Just going through real quickly. Hey, Scott, how's it going? Thanks for joining. We're all part of Jong Squad. You are my family, my friend and family. Thank you so much. Thanks again for joining. Wayne, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Hey, Ed, how are you? Thanks for joining. Wow. Robert, how are you? Thanks for joining. Billy, how's it going? Thanks for joining. A lot of people joining. Wow. Charlie, how's it going? Bob, how's it going? Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. Hey, Paul, thanks for joining. Hey, Todd, how's it going from New York? Thank you so much for joining. I am originally from New Jersey. When I went to school there, I used to go to New York all the time. That was awesome. Thank you. Six Underground, thanks for joining. Wow, I never just catch the beginning of these chats. It's always fun in the beginning, especially, right? Absolutely. um, I just saw a request from Retro Collect with capital letter request. So I got to read this one, right? If it's in capital letters. Is it possible you have each member again and have them I produce themselves and let us know how they got involved in the backgrounds? I want to speak to Mishik. Oh, absolutely, my friend. I'll set something up. That actually sounds like pretty fun. We had a couple of them in our show already, but let me bring them on again. And I think that will be an awesome episode. I appreciate it. Thanks for that. Today, we want to have a lot more fun as well, right? The weather is awesome outside, but I am stuck in my dungeon, my favorite place, right? White background. The coolest dad ever flag right behind me. I'm not sure if I'm the coolest dad or not, but I want to be. um, All right, today is all about quote unquote, I say requests. I've gotten a lot of requests, and today I want to fulfill a couple of them. And I think that's what I'll probably make today's episode about. There were a couple of requests on showing the games, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and do that. Before I get into that, though, I do have an announcement. What's a show without an announcement, right? We want to have some fun, and part of fun is the announcements. This one's pretty small. I won't say small, but this one's another one that's about requests. So let's dive into that. But before I go into there, I see more of my friends joining. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Thanks for joining. CR, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Darren, how are you? Hey, Lamarcus, how's it going? Abimael, how are you? Mr. Jeff, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Hassan, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining. We will. I think I'm seeing some of the questions as well. I'll go through them after we play some games. But before I get into there, one thing that I wanted to tell you. We've been looking into one of the requests that you have submitted before, and I think we finally have an answer. And that is memory upgrades. I know you've been requesting this for a while. Memory upgrades, we did some investigation and we found out that it's doable up to a certain level, right? So I think we can do it up to twice what we have today. But it wasn't cheap. So I don't think I would be able to provide that for free, unfortunately. But we try to lower that as much as possible. So here it is. Finally, memory upgrade. We'll add $50 more for memory upgrade. We try to lower this as much as we can, but I think like this is what's gonna make it possible. Did a lot of calculations and stuff. But anyway, I want to let you know that this is absolutely optional. And I personally think, and I got a 64 gigabyte system. I pulled all the games in there, and there's still lots of memory left. So I personally think 64 gigabytes, especially if you can remove games and put it back and so forth, is enough. But I got a lot of requests on upgrade to 128 gigabytes. So we looked into it, and we determined that we'll be able to do it for $50 extra. So if you're interested, it's yours. Let me go over with you on how to make this happen. And this was actually pretty difficult as well to find out, but I was able to find out how to do this. So this is what I was told. Step number one, you go to manage your pledge, and then step number two, add $50 to your pledge, and then press continue. And then afterwards, just send me a quick PM, private message, just saying I've added $50 for memory upgrade, so that I know. And I'll make records of these. And then after the Kickstarter campaign is complete, I'll also be sending you a survey so that we can just confirm this as well, right? Just to make sure that the $50 you've added was for memory upgrade. The other thing that we are looking into right now, this was like extremely ad hoc, right? Extremely ad hoc, meaning it wasn't expected. Definitely wasn't expected. So my team sort of pulled a lot of tricks from the hat and found a way to do this. And now, right, because it was sort of ad hoc, the parts are not ordered yet. So we need to order the parts. These are new parts, obviously, right? So what we need is a count of how many parts we need to order, right? And that also sort of it will give us an idea of how many parts to order for like initial batch. So if you can help me if you're interested, if you can do me a favor and take care of this before Friday, then I'll gather up the information, and then I'll pass this along to our development organization so that they can order the 128 parts instead of the 64 part and I do the modifications and magic that they have to do to create your version of the board. So if you can let me know by Friday, I would appreciate it. Again, just to really quickly, the process, add $50 to your pledge, and then just send me a quick message saying, I've added $50 for memory upgrade. Easy peasy. So that was the first announcement that I wanted to bring to you. This was something that we've been listening to you and wanting to make happen for you for a while, and we've listened to you. There it is. I hope this was a good news. Again, it's completely optional, only if you want it, but it's not necessary to play games. But if you want it, there it is. Let me just get a quick drink of water. Okay, now with that, let's play some games. Today I have 3 games for you, and 2 of them come from request. And I wanted to, basically, I got a request to show this kind of games. So I wanted to fulfill that promise, because I promised to show. And then one of them is sort of they're mixed in between, right? They're awesome games. I like those games. And so let's play them without any delays, without any further delays. I'll get to them. Let me get to my device, and I'll meet you there in a second. Okay, everybody, I hope you can hear me. I'm just walking over to my device. And let me also check in my apparatus to make sure that I have audio. Okay. And if I don't have any audio, please let me know. But I think my apparatus is telling me that I do have audio. So here is everybody. iiRcade. You guys are pretty familiar with this by now. But for those who may have been joining for the first time, let me get to introducing it real quickly. So up here, camera's not showing it. I have 100 watts of very powerful audio now installed. And this is the only device in the world that has the 1.21 gigawatts of amazing sound, ultra powerful sound with flex capacitor. Underneath it, we got 19 inches of beautiful display. Underneath that, we have the control panel, where it starts with power button on the right-hand side. If you press it lightly, it goes to sleep. If you press it, it comes back right away. Also hold and press for 2 seconds, it'll go to sleep, and press it again, it'll wake up. And then next to that, you have P1 start and P2 start and coin button. And then next to that, you have the volume button. Afraid to put it up because it's pretty powerful. And then after that, you got menu button and pause button. So when you're playing a game, if you press the button, it'll go to pause. And if you press it again, it'll unpause. If you press and hold for menu for 2 seconds, it'll go back to the menu. Next to that, you have 3.5 millimeter headset jack. So you can plug your headset in and play quietly or loudly, only for yourself, while everybody else is sleeping at 3 a.m. Let me go to the menu real quickly. So menu is very intuitive and easy to use. So this first screen here, recent. These are the recent games that you have played. Order of the latest one listed first, and then going in chronological order. And that all will basically show you all the games that you have installed on the device. And I have a little bit, not too much. And then afterwards, everything is ordered to genres in alphabetical order. And within the genre tab, it is also alphabetical ordered as well, like this. It's very easy to find games. And then you have at the setting menu at the end. And then, of course, I have my Wi-Fi connected. Last week, I actually had somebody come over to my house and play games with me. That was a lot of fun. He was a reporter from a magazine called Old School Gamer Magazine. Right? Beautiful looking magazine, by the way. I like it a lot. Let me show you one of the magazines that he gave me, which I thought was pretty cool. Old School Gamer Magazine. He came and he played games with me, and he was shocked. It was great to see his surprised expression. So I was very happy with that. But anyway, I was so glad that somebody outside of myself and, of course, the team members who are working on the product was able to experience the device and play games together. So I think he's going to do a piece on us. So if you can stay tuned, he'll give you his honest feedback about what he thought. Anyways, let's go ahead and play some games. First game is a game that you have seen already. And this was actually a pretty controversial game, right? One of the reasons is because, it's a very honest game with some sort of hidden, quote unquote, some hidden thing that was not really appropriate. But anyways, I'm going to show it to you anyway because somebody requested it. It's called Squash. So this is a game of squash, and it's a sports squash, right? Not the vegetable squash. Let me pump up the volume a little bit. Yeah, I think the person was very interested in this game. So let me show you real quickly. This is a game from 1992. It simulates squash very well. I used to play some squash when I used to live in California. That was several years ago. And great sport, by the way. I'm not too good at it. I'm a tennis lover, right? I love playing tennis. And I used to play when I was in high school. But squash is a same racket sport. So it was sort of easy to get into, but not really easy to get into, if you know what I mean. Because it's a completely different sport and you have to run, and my physical condition, I'm getting old. So that's where I was like, oh my God, it's great to see a game, right, that allows you to play squash because I can stay in my basement dungeon and play. But it simulates it really well. If you like squash, the game is actually really well made. One of the problems that this game had, which I didn't know, and somebody from our family told me about this, and which I was very grateful, was that one of the fans that was hidden in the introduction stage screen, there was something inappropriate. So initially, we were thinking about preloading this game, but we decided not to, and instead we decided to put it up on our online store with a rating of mature in it because of that very small little scene, and because we take the family friendliness very, very seriously. But it will be available with a mature tag on it. Otherwise, right, very, very great, sports game, I would say. Quite honestly, I do not know why they put that in there. It has nothing to do with squash whatsoever. But it is what it is, I guess. So it's another mature game that is squash. All right, that was squash. If you have any questions, please let me know. Second game I want to get into now is an action game. So let's get into some action gaming. The game, by the way, squash was from 1992. Now I'm gonna take my time machine, go all the way back to 1986. The game is called Valtryk. I don't know if you guys have heard of this game. I personally have not, but when I played it, I thought it was a pretty good game. And I actually did some search, and it sounds like there are many, many people who have played this game before. And especially those people were like, oh my God, this is one of my favorite games. So I looked at it and I said, maybe I should show it to you. So here it is, Valtryk. This game was also interesting. The other reason being that I don't know if it was you retro collect, but somebody was asking me for a game that plays similar to like Ikari Warriors. And this is Nikari Warriors, right? But it's got that top-down isometric top-down view, and plays similarly. It's a more shooter type of game, but very interesting type of game. And I figure I should show it to you. So you're this little I say robot, right? And you get different weapons if you eat that red thingy. You can also jump left and right, and you shoot those bad guys. There it goes. And now those question marks are very interesting. Sometimes you get weapons, and I think I just shot my weapon, but that was pretty interesting way to get weapons. So I'm waiting for those question marks to bring up my potential weapon, like that. So those are not my weapons, but those will, the colors red and purple, they enhance my weapons. And if you would please open up the other, oh, I died. Pump up the sound a little bit so that you can hear. Can you guys hear the sound? All right, I want my weapon now. Please give me my weapon. Ah, died. I want to show you the weapon. All right, let me just play one more round real quickly so I can show you the weapon. Okay, put my name on. Start. Okay, let me just play until I can get my weapon, because it is pretty cool. Jump. Come on, please, question mark. Turn into my weapon. Have you guys heard of this game before? If you did, please let me know. I'd be interested to know. Oh, jump. Oh, why did I land there? Wasn't a smart move, was it? Yeah, how I learned about this game was that I was trying to find that Ikari Warrior-like game that I promised to show. And I was looking at some of the games and videos, and I ran into this. And again, I saw the comments that says, hey, this was like my favorite game. So I said, okay, people must know about this game. Maybe a game that I don't know, but others do. So let's show it. So I practiced it a little bit. I played it this morning, and I found out about how to play. And it was pretty interesting and difficult. Please, give me my weapon. Weapon? Weapon? Oh, please give me my weapon. See, it's very hard. Oh my god. Okay. I lost. Sorry, I won't be able to show you the weapon, but you can try later on when you get your iiRcade and get the weapon and show it to me. And you can brag. I'll give you the bragging rights. So that was Feltrick, a 1986 game. For a 1986 game, I think the gameplay is really good, good graphics and so forth. So I was so happy to be able to show you this today. Let me get to our final game. Now, our final game comes from that request that I just mentioned. Somebody, and if it's you, please raise your hand. I'm sure we can probably see you raising your hand if you requested this. But I got a request to show something that played like Ikari Warriors. And I found it. It's called Outzone. I don't know if you guys have tried this before or not. But this game is a toa playing game, right? And if it's a toa playing game, you know the quality of the game. This was my first time seeing it as well, but it played really nice. By the way, don't worry about that notice. It's going to go away at the end when we release, along with the right experiences and all. Anyway, let me pump up the sound a little bit. It's got really good audio. It says, please insert the coin. Look at this graphics, right? This is a 1990 graphic. And as you can see, it's got intense action. Toaplan is known for shooters. And they've utilized their skills to Ikari Warrior-like shooter extremely, extremely well. So let me put in some money. And by the way, you can play 2 players, exactly like Ikari Warriors. I think this is like Ikari Warriors in steroids. The graphics so much better. Nikari Warriors is I think that's also a 1986 game. I remember playing the game to death when I was young and had my Nintendo Entertainment System. And if you get those like P's and other letters, you get different weapons. And the music is really good as well. I died. If you get that letter C weapon, you get a powerful weapon that's very powerful, and you always face forward, so you cannot turn when you get this weapon. So if you want to turn, you have to get another weapon. And weapons get really more powerful as well. So that was really good to know. Like C, for example, if I get this again, it returns to my older weapon, so I'm able to shoot everywhere. If I get P, that's a different weapon. Oh, I got shot. Now here's another cool thing. Boom! Get that. And when I get more enemies, boom! I think that energy level decreases every time I do that, but it's really cool to do. Especially they're like really tougher enemies, I would say. Now is a good time to use, right? Get rid of them. If I get the P, I get more powerful weapon. So it plays like Ikari Warriors, and I think it's a really great game. Again, with more modern graphics and gameplay and all. So that was Outzone. If you have any questions, let me know. That was the last game of the day. I know, shucks, right? I want to play more game too. Today I had the 3 prepared, and I'm going to have some more chat with you. So with that, let me go over to my PC and let's have some chat. Okay, everybody, I am back. Oops, wrong window. There it goes. How was that? First question, did you recognize any of the games? And I think I've had that answer. Yes, I've played Valtrek. Played many times. Fantastic. Yeah, when I was searching through internet, I saw that many people played the game before. So I was pretty surprised because I've not seen it. But then again, as I said, everybody has different experiences in the games that they played. And everybody has his or her favorite games. And I got my set of favorite games, like 1,000 of them. And I'm sure everybody has his or her different favorite game as well. So there was another good experience for me to learn about it. But glad to hear that you played it as well. Let me get to some Q&A. And oh my God, I need some water. I don't know why, but it's very dry down here in my basement dungeon. So it makes me thirsty. I got like 3 bottles of water here. It helps. It definitely helps. Okay, let me ask you some questions. Let's see. I think my window just scrolled up all the way. So the last one that I'm able to see, I'm sorry, the first comment that I'm able to see is from Todd, where you said PA. By the way, Todd, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. So if I missed any, my sincere apologies. I'll go back and answer the questions after the session, as usual. Hey, Darren, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. Oh, I see Jeff's joining comment. So great. I don't think I then missed too many questions. So let me get to them. I see the word WrestleFest again. um, I'm like memorizing these names now, and especially these many games that are coming up like over and over again. I'm like, okay, I get it. This is the game to get. I'm very excited to play, and right now I'm like uh, able to sort of expect when that word is coming out. So so as soon as I play my games, I sit down. I'm like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, WrestleFest. There it is. I'm becoming a psychic. Anyway, sorry for that. Let me get to the questions. There's WrestleFest again. Moses, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. God, I hope it has Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Capcom vs. SNK 2. Thank you so much. Great question. So do I. We'll be going after them. Right now we don't, but that doesn't mean anything, right? Because we haven't even shipped the product yet. So whether we have it or not, you won't be able to play right now anyway. Something that I've been saying before is that right, this is just a start. I mean, we have about 170 games right now. We're planning to have about 200 games by launch, and the list is continuously growing. And this is a list that we were able to put together before we launch, right? So it's just a pre-launch list, and a pre-launch list of like 200 games is, I think, it's pretty strong. I'm a huge gamer. I play a lot of games, and I have all the systems in the world in my house, sort of. I did spend a lot of money in systems and games, and I think 200 games is pretty strong in my mind, from my experience anyway. But the great news is that once we launch, and then we have the sales data that the big companies are looking for, then we use that data to get their games, and the list will continuously grow with all your favorite games. So we will continuously be getting games. Great thing about iiRcade is that you will be able to continuously download and get new games and so forth. So it's definitely upgradable there. You're not stuck with like the original arcades, right? 1 or 2 games that it comes with, and you just spent like $35,000. Arcade is completely different. You get the unit, and you'll be able to download new games, and we'll be continuously getting new games. So that's the great thing about it. And these are games where we definitely want to go after as well. So stay tuned. And by the way, again, one of the reasons why we are doing Kickstarter is because of that, right? So that we can, well, if we hit really big with Kickstarter, and the number is so big that the big companies will take notice, then we can take these numbers earlier, even before we launch our product. Go to the game companies and try to get those games. So making that bigger will help us to get more games much earlier. And your help will be really much appreciated by helping us to spread the word. Referrals and social media posts, extremely, extremely important. Very, very helpful. So I would really appreciate it. We're making this happen together, right? It's a dream that we're making this happen together. So thank you so much for that. And by the way, I knew that the next word that was going to come after WrestleFest is Retromania. So I'm seeing that right now. So Prince, thank you so much for that. You are helping me to make my psychic powers come true. Let's see. Oh, Michael, XCD titles, Venture, Mousetrap, Pepper 2. PM me, I can put you in touch with XDC. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'll PM you afterwards. I'll also look into the games as well. They sound like good games. So I'm always open to new games, new awesome games. So we'll PM you afterwards. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Hey, Gunther, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. So great to see you here. See, Scott, Scott is saying, are you? I think I can post this up under my screen, right? Let me do that. Are you a mind reader, John? That's my question for later. Thank you so much. I must be becoming a sidekick. I don't know why. Not sidekick, sidekick. um, yeah, I don't want to be a sidekick. I want to be a main character if I were to do something. I want to be a Batman, not Robin, right? um, sorry for the bad joke. Let's see, going through. Hey, Jim, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. Happy Tuesday. So happy. I am so happy. This is like, I keep on saying this, I know, but Tuesdays and Fridays, this is like my favorite time of the week. Get to spend times with you guys and playing games together with you guys. How better can it be, right? Especially like out of everything else that's happening in the day. I got a lot of meetings that are like pretty painful. I got a lot of meetings that are pretty boring. And right, but right, when I'm spending time with my favorite people, right? Like for example, spending time with my family, spending time with my friends, and then spending time with my favorite friends, my favorite family, who has same interests as I do, right? And we can play games together, and we can talk about games together. What better can it be? So this is like my favorite time of the week, and hugely thank you so much for everything and for joining. I really appreciate it. So definitely happy Tuesday, my friend. Going down. Wow, I see a lot of awesome price. 128, here I come. Wow, I think this is about the memory. Cool, I'm in. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Again, if you can let me know earlier, we need to get the parts. So I would appreciate it. Again, if you can let me know by Friday, that'd be great. Again, staying with 64 is also completely fine as well. Again, I got 64 and I still have a lot of memory left. So that'd be great. Let's see. Hey, Mark, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. I think I said this before, but for you, you get the greeting twice. Mark, I figured out why I faint during Facebook Live. I have iiRcade. Is that similar to what I have? Like I'm coughing, right, and you're fainting? It's the overwhelming excitement of being a part of this great family with John. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it. And the team, and knowing in October I'll be getting this awesome system. Really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. Something to let you know. This is just the beginning. Hint, hint, wink, wink. That's more excitement coming. Stay tuned. Let's see. Going down the list. See another question. Mr. Retro Collect with capital letter question John. And capital letter and long questions always catch my attention. 2 meetings ago, you had mentioned, sorry, my eyes. Bye-bye glasses. 2 meetings ago, you had mentioned you were getting the game cupboard or something like that to you. You said you were going to show it to us. Can you show it now? I wonder what a game cupboard is. Sorry, I don't remember. I gotta go back and see the video again. My sincere apologies. Yeah, let me go back and see the video again and I'll prepare for our next one. My sincere apologies. I don't remember. Game cupboard. If I remember, I'll do, but I don't remember. So my sincere apologies. But I'll definitely review the video again and find out what it is. So thanks for that. Let's see. Todd should get closer to $500,000 with this option. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I really hope so, because I really want to make that bomb squad thing happen. I personally believe, right, online games, you have to have other people playing with you. And best way to get as many people as possible, I think, is to preload it so that everybody can jump in and beat up each other. And play together and have a lot of fun. And I think that's exactly what iiRcade is meant to be. And I really want to make this happen. So I really hope we can get to 500,000 quickly. And We have some more exciting things that we're thinking about for the post 500,000 stretch goals as well. So help me to be able to announce that. I thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Going down the list, I go down pretty quickly. See. Francis, will an upgrade be available later or must it be designed now? Oh, thank you so much for the question. By the way, welcome. Really good to have you here. So right now, what I'm thinking is we'll probably, it has to be before we ship, right? Because the memory upgrade is going onto the board. The part in the board needs to be replaced. So it has a different board. But after the after we finish our Kickstarter, we may make it available for the post Kickstarter upgrade. But here's the kicker, though. It may become more expensive, and the reason is, right? If we purchase in volume these parts, it becomes cheaper. So this time around, we have our sort of an estimate. So we believe, based on all the comments that we received so far, we should be able to make it within the price point that we have. Right, we will order and get it in, and we'll ship it. If we do it later, and let's say the volume becomes smaller, right, the price may become more expensive and things like that. So we don't know what it's going to be at the time, and we're thinking about it right now, but we may or may not do it. We probably will do it, but may or may not be same price. So I would recommend doing it now. It also enables us to be able to ship it faster, because if it's not part of this batch, then we have to order parts again next batch after Kickstarter is done, and it's just going to delay you getting the unit. So I would recommend doing it now if you can. But if you're not decided, it's completely okay as well. We'll try to make it available later on, as I said. So all up to you. Have a thought and make a decision. And by the way, this is the fun part of making these purchases, right? Making decisions. I'm like, oh my gosh, should I go for this now? Should I go for this later? I can't decide. Oh, heck, let me just go for it. That's what happens to me. I just close my eyes, right? So whenever, for example, I'm purchasing a new console, I'm like, oh my God, I want to get this, but what do I do? Oh, forget it. I'm just going to get it, right? And then I just close my eyes and make it happen. And when I get home, I play it, then I don't regret my decision. So that's been my experience anyway. But anyway, let's see. Mr. Jeff, let me get to yours. Your question is wrong. You're amazing, John. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I have never seen a company so in tune with its customers. Oh, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. We ask and you make it happen. You rock. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I didn't know that it was a compliment. I thought it was a question, but I really appreciate it. You just made my day, my friend. Thank you so much for that. You see my face becoming red and blushing. Thank you so much. See, Derek, how's it going, my friend? Thanks for joining. What kind of storage type is it? That's a good question. What kind of chipset is it? I gotta. Let me ask my team. It's a solid state. It's a solid state drive. Probably flash. I think it's probably flash memory. But let me go double check and let you know. So thank you so much for the question. Appreciate it. Going down the list. I got your audio sounds good. Great audio. Hey, Drank, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. I just got a question from Drank. 2 words. Needs trackball. I sort of had that coming as well. And that's why I brought it to attention. So let me get to that. Trackball. I've been getting a lot of questions about trackballs. And There are several reasons why we didn't put it in our current version from day one, right? The decision was made on day one. So we said, if we look at a product that tries to do everything at once, and this comes from many, many years of experiences, right? Then every single thing becomes mediocre. So instead of making that happen, we said, let's focus on doing one thing right, right? And if we look at most of the games out there, these are games that utilize joysticks, obviously, right? That's like the basic and fundamental. So we put that in, and we said, let's focus on making this like the perfect experience, best experience ever, right? So so let's say now I have $10 to spend. I can spend the $10 in bringing a trackball inside a device, or I can spend the $10 in making our audio and display and everything awesome, right? For that joystick experience, and making the device premium and things. So we said we're gonna go for the latter, right? So I mean, theoretically, we right, anything's possible in this world. We can put joysticks in, we can put trackballs and etc. But this will take away the funds that we can utilize to put in a better speaker, for example, more powerful speaker, to bring the better experience. Or by putting the trackball in, it's going to make the device much bigger. And if the device becomes bigger, one of the things that we're trying to make happen with iiRcade, which is to be able to fit anywhere in the house, right? We're sort of going away from that, right? We wanted our device to be able to fit anywhere in the house beautifully, and just going and put it in and just plug in, you're ready to go. Very simple, very easy. And again, not all houses are mansions, right? My house is small. And if you saw like some like 20 episodes ago, I had my arcade next to my pool table, and space is like this small, with a little exaggeration about this small. Sorry, and there was a dead space. Right? Nothing fits in there. But iiRcade, I was able to put it in there, and it looked beautifully next to my pool table and everything. So that's the type of experience that we want to bring. And if right, especially if it's convertible, right? So if you take it out and put it as a bar top, and if trackball is in there, it's gonna make it extremely big, and it's not gonna make it look extremely ugly. And especially if you look at like display, for example, the bezels are gonna be like humongous, right? That's not a good experience to have. So we said there are a lot of negatives on trying to make one device that does it all. So instead of that, initially we'll focus on one thing and do this perfectly. And that was one of the reasons why we tried to make it happen this way. And by the way, the other thing is, right, if we add a trackball on top of everything else that we have, then it's going to increase your price because it increases the cost. And we didn't want to do that. We wanted to maintain the price level that we had. So we didn't want to make it even more expensive for you. So we said, let's focus on making this one thing right. And after we make this one thing right, we're gonna go on to the next thing that we're gonna make it right. And by right, meaning it's gonna be like the best experience ever. So when we do that, maybe we can look into it as a second stage. But for now, we said we're gonna make the joystick experience perfect. And that's what we focused on. And that's why iiRcade, as we have right now, is what it is right now. And Trackball, I heard you, and your feedbacks are extremely important for me. And I have already added into my to-do list for looking to for the near future. So we'll keep you updated there. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Let's see, going into next questions. Better for me to take off the glasses. I can see within my glasses, right? I don't know if it makes sense, right? Let's see. Paul, hey, welcome. Thank you so much for joining, my friend. I edited my pledge to add the upgrade memory. How do I PM Jong about this from here. Oh, thank you so much for the question. Let me just go back to this real quick. So if you go to the page, you'll see a screen on the right-hand side. By the way, I didn't know how to do this until now, so it's pretty difficult using Kickstarter. I'm not used to it myself, so completely hearing, my friend. Anyway, you're going to see iiRcade Gamer, and then on top of it, you're going to see the logo. Click on that, and it's going to say blah, blah, blah. And at the end, it says contact me. If you click on it, and I think you can type messages afterwards. So try that and let me know if that works. If not, just send me an email, quick email to info@iircade.com. info@iircade.com. Then I'll take care of it. So thanks for the great question. Brian, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Let me get to your question. Does the sound have a built-in equalizer for bass? Great question. What's the best way to answer this? The answer is yes. Definitely answer is yes. So our device has several things built in to make this amazing sound happen. One of them is a power amplifier, 100 watts, extremely powerful amplifier. And what's the best? ADSP, right? Digital signal processor that basically controls all these equalizers, including bass. And these values currently, at least, needs to be optimized, pre-programmed, optimized, and that goes into that gets stored into the DSP, digital signal processor, to be able to make this output. Now, later on, if we want to build in a separate equalizer, we can definitely do that. If everybody's asking for it, we'll look into that. But for now, everything is built in. We have optimized everything for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And as part of the optimization, definitely increase the bass, right? Absolutely. So did that for you. Hope that answers your question. Another question from Brian: will there be an online tech support remote connect? That's a great question. That's actually one thing that we've been looking into. But currently, we did not integrate into our software. So we may integrate this for later on for tech support perspective. But currently, we have features that will enhance your experience when you're playing the game higher priority. So this online tech support remote feature became lower. But later on, right, when it's appropriate, then we'll look into making it happen. We have everything planned. We need to code this in, but right now we don't have it yet. So, but we're going to make sure that it doesn't hinder your experience with tech support. So no worries. Going to next questions. Let's see. Matt, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Will there be an option for free games similar to App Store for mobile devices? That's a great question. So on mobile devices, quite honestly, I'm not a big fan of how they have structured mobile devices. And as far as I know, Google and Apple are not either. They initially brought in-app purchases and advertising models and things, and turned out that went sort of overboard, and now they're having a lot of difficulties in controlling the ecosystem that sort of became into a monster. And with that model, not everybody's able to make good amount of money, and like the big guys make all the money, and small guys sort of suffer. And Google and Apple are not able to control. Right, the ecosystem is what I was told. As a user, I mean, I sort of don't like. I really hate actually pay to win. I don't want to pay to win, right? I want to put my efforts into it, and the solution from the outcome of my sweat needs to be what my character in the game becomes, not the character that I paid him to become. And it's also not fair for others as well. So I don't like that model myself. So so on iiRcade, at least right now, anyway, we're trying to make it so that it's like we're gonna make it so that it's not gonna be pay to win, right? I mean, when you are fighting somebody else, right? You're fighting somebody else, and like to say, for example, Bomb Squad, and the other guy, he just started today, but his character is more powerful than you because he spent a lot of money. I don't think that's fair. So we're gonna try to right, we're going to try to sort of keep the model that we currently have, but make it more affordable at the same time. And at the end of the day, right, this is going to be much cheaper than if you're playing it pay to win way. So hope that answers your question. Let's see. Brian, how do you get that magazine? Oh, great question. I can get you in touch with the person if you like. So PM me afterwards, and I'll get you connected. But it's a great magazine. I like it a lot. So thanks for that. And he's also doing this as sort of a hobby. And he has a good number of subscribers. And he does a fantastic job because he's doing it out of his passion. So I think it's a good magazine. Great magazine. I would recommend it. Let's see. Going down the list. Hey, Christina, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. So nice to see you here. Christina, let me get to your question. Would love to see Dragon Slayer running on the iiRcade. Thank you so much. So would I. Actually, what's going on is that we're customizing it. We're customizing it to death. So once that's done and available, we'll definitely show it to you. Right now, I can show it to you, but it's not going to be the same experience. So sort of not worth seeing it. But as soon as we're done, we'll show it to you. I promise. I really want to show it to you, actually. It is going to be amazing. Getting to next questions. Let's see. Retro Collect. Hey, you forgot to say question, Jung, in capital letters. No, just joking. What is the small scene you're referring to in the game? Now Jung is making I don't know if you like puzzles, but I'll leave it to you to solve. Quite honestly, I've played this game a lot, and I was never able to detect it myself until I was told by an amazing member of our family that this is there. And then I saw it. I said, "Oh my God!" So we decided to pull it and make it into a adult game. And right now, I don't see any children joining the session, and maybe I should make this episode a mature version of episode. Anyways, thank you for that. Let's see. Prince, where do you work, bro? Great question, my friend. I work in my basement dungeon right now because due to Corona. But I work at iiRcade. I'm the CEO here. That's my job. If you mean where I used to work before, I worked at many places before. I was at Motorola for like 13 years in Chicago. Did everything. I did like Razer, if you remember Razers. I did Razer. I did like 10,000 different versions of Razers. I was at Sony making Xperia Play, if you remember Xperia Play. Did that. And I was at Intel. And there, oh my God, I learned a lot about chipsets. So know a lot about everything about chipsets. That's and then I was at another really big company. I was a VP of innovations there and did a lot of innovations. I've done a lot of innovations ever since Motorola days, and just fell in love with it. Right? I'm like, I need to change the world. But changing the world at big corporates, unfortunately, is very difficult to do. So I said, I cannot do that anymore. I have to follow my dream. So here we are. Hope that explains. Let's see. I think. Wow, time is going really quickly. So let me get to some more questions. I don't want to bore you too much, but let me say hi to my friend Patrick. How are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining, um, Mr. P-Dubs. I wasn't gonna reveal your identity, like Superman, right? I wasn't gonna reveal that your Superman identity, but I think somebody else did it for me, so might as well. um, Going down the list, let me get to some questions. Let's see. Christina, let me get to your question. Any word on Pac-Man, Dicta, Kelaga, Alter Beast, Smash TV, Gauntlet, Rastan, etc.? Great question. I think this goes back to some of the things that I've been saying earlier, which is now these are games from the big companies that need to see sales data. So I need to show them sales data. One of the big reasons why we are doing Kickstarter is that I need to be able to show them this so that we can get him to get his games over to our platform. So one of the reasons why, right, we can either get to launch the device, get sales data, and then go to these companies and get the games, or before we launch the device, I can do a Kickstarter. If we're able to make this happen really big and have a number that's meaningful to these big companies, then we can use this information to get their games as soon as possible, as soon as we can. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing Kickstarter. And again, I know many of us are looking for these games, and in order to if you're able to help me out to make this happen, again with referrals and social media posts and things like that, it'll help us a lot, make it so much easier. Give me the weapon so that we can make this happen. So there it is. Thank you so much. Again, we'll be making those happen. I think it's just a matter of time. So thank you so much for that. Let's see. Going down the list real quickly. I see the word Valtric in capital letters. Wow. I'm like, capital letters always catch my attention, even though I cannot really see with my glasses. Valtric. Sounds like a name of a naughty boy. You know what I mean? Valtric. Let's see. Jeff. I think we have a good comment here. Let me just read. Of note, I think that the low screen for Valtric did not show the button map for jump. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. It looked like it only showed the button for shoot. You know what happened? Thank you so much for that, by the way. So the demos that I'm showing you right now are not like 100% done yet. We're still working on them. And one of the things that we're working on are the instruction screens, right? And especially for those games that are not ready yet, but I want to show. I'm just making up these sort of mock-up load screens myself and showing them to you. So many of them are not accurate as we have right now, those instruction screens. But before we launch, we're going to make them accurate and get it out there. So everything will be accurate then. Right now, just think of it as John's mock-up version, so that we can show you the game version of the screen. Hope that makes sense. But thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you catching these errors. So I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. Thank you. Let's see. Scott's played Valtric before. Gunther's played Valtric before. I'm so glad to hear. Christina, where are the classics? A lot of these games I've never heard of. Thank you so much for that. And as I said, I think this is the reason why. As we've just heard right above, that people have heard about and played Valtric before. I have not, but right, the region when you used to grow up in a certain region, you probably had arcades that had certain games. And when I grew up, my arcade had certain games. And when Scott and Gunther grew up in certain region and time, right, the arcades near his house or their houses had separate different games, right? And I think that this is my analysis now, right? I think this is one of the reasons why everybody has different favorite games. Everybody knows about different games. Um, so I think that's some of the reasons why. I mean, there's certainly classics that everybody knows of. Then again, um, my definition of classic is probably different from your definition of classic. So right there may be some discrepancy there. And the other thing is, right, as I said before, these big companies, games from big companies, require sales data to make happen, right? So once we have these sales data, we're going to go after them. But iiRcade is also about. It's not only about. Right, this is a big part of it, but it's not only about the games that we remember. As I said, iiRcade is also about the games that you have missed. Now, this is, I believe, iiRcade is a platform that will give you the opportunity to be able to play these games that you have missed without much risk. And there are so many great games out there, so many great big fish, so many big fish out there that you're gonna fall in love with. The games that you have not tried yet. Also, we're bringing a lot of we're trying to change the world, right? So the other thing that we're trying to bring is the new games in an arcade experience, right? So that's something new to try as well. Like, for example, the Beach Buggy, Riptide, Admar, Dead Effect. So sort of good, one great package that we're trying to make happen. And again, our platform is also giving great opportunities to these new developers, right? Indie developers to be able to create an arcade game. And these were also their dream because they also used to play arcade games when they were young, and also gives them the opportunity to do so as well, and have people in the world play their games. So iiRcade is about playing the games that you remember, and also about discovery. So we're trying to make that happen. And then again, the big companies classics, I diverged a little, so sorry about that. But games from big companies, we need the sales data. So as soon as we have that, we're going to go after them. So hope that answered your question. Again, if you have any more questions regarding that, please don't hesitate to let me know. I would love to give you more details. Let's see. Going back down the list real quickly. So if I missed any questions, my apologies. Several things. The tool keeps on scrolling up for me, and I do have my glasses on, but glasses are impairing my vision. So if I don't get to them, I'll get to them later. Patrick, I see a question from you. Let me get to that real quickly, and I'll try to continue for maybe about 7 minutes more or so, and try to cover as many questions as I can. So thank you so much for staying with me here, guys. Appreciate it. Does anyone want to see a showcase highlighting the 10 included games? I see yeses. I see a lot of yeses. I would love to as well, Mr. P-Dubs. Let's make it happen. If there's demand, we gotta do it. Let's see. So waiting for their answer. Going down the list. Mr. Jeff, 11 if we get to 500K, yes, because we get Bomb Squad. 3 more if you do the referral program. Oh, absolutely, I totally agree with you. Thank you so much for bringing that up. So the opportunity is 14, not 11. So thank you so much for being there. I really appreciate it. That's a really good point. Paul, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. Great to see you. Paul and I have been communicating I think he, right. Hi, John, my friend. Finally caught you live. Good buddy. Thank you so much for joining, my friend. I appreciate it. So great to see you here. Let's see. Oh, Jeff. Oh, so you're the one who requested it, right? The game that I showed today. So thank you so much for that. That was a good choice. Appreciate it. I had a lot of fun playing it, by the way. And it's so great to share it. Play this with you. Let's see. Christina, at Games Legends Ultimate has 300 preloaded. Just saying. I hear you. They have, I think, they have different philosophy than what we're trying to do. And I'm glad that they have 300 preload games, right? I'm not saying, right? And I want them to succeed, right? Because them succeeding, us succeeding, everybody succeeding, that's just going to make the industry become much better. Now, I think here's where differentiation happens, right? I think their games are good, and but what we've been trying to do is we try to put our money into quantity over quality over quantity. Expensive games that deliver to you amazing experiences. That what we stand for. Right, if we wanted to, we could have included 1,000 games in there. But you may not play that 1,000 games. It may only be a handful of games. Instead of that, I wanted to bring a small number of games, but really, really amazing games that iiRcade stands for, right? So I'm not right. I'm not bothered by the 300 number on that games or 10 games that we have on iiRcade. It's just different systems, and we're trying to do different things, right? So, I mean, yeah. So I hope that answers your question. But the games that we're preloading are pretty expensive. It's actually very expensive. Dragon's Lair wasn't a cheap game to put in. So just to let you know. And same thing for other games as well, like Double Dragon, Beach Buggy. I mean, I'm not going to say who, but some systems have 3 to 5 games preloaded that are maybe I shouldn't say. Yeah, but I know. You probably know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, that's the story. So thank you so much for that. Let me get to other questions. Patrick, I can put together a showcase for you guys. John, I'll take one iiRcade cabinet and a side of fries, please. How about if I include some Coke with that? That sounds good. Excited. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Retro Collect, raising hand. It was me asking for the Nikari Warriors. So it was you. That's what I figured. Thank you, John. Is there any way to make it twin stick? If the game warrants it, absolutely. It's definitely possible. If the game needs it, they will make it twin stick. But I'm not sure if this game was originally twin stick or not. But if it is, we'll do it. The great thing about iiRcade is you can configure it per game, right? Differently, right, whichever we want. So we'll look into that. So thank you so much for that. By the way, my screen just scrolled. And I think I just missed a lot of questions, so my sincere apologies. And I am seeing that there are a lot more questions than I thought afterwards. So let me go through some of these real quick. Sorry for holding you here. I'll try to make it happen as quickly as I can. See, Scott. Hey, thanks for joining, my friend. How do you get the upgraded memory? I hopped on late and missed this and definitely want to take advantage. Thank you. So for those who have joined a little later, these are the process. So go into your manager pledge, add $50 to pledge, and basically send me a PM saying that you've included $50 additional in the pledge for memory upgrade. And I'm going to make a note of it in your account so that my team knows that you have made the upgrade. And then once the campaign is complete, we're also going to send you a survey just to confirm. So hope that makes sense. Let me go down the list real quickly. Daniel, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Question John with capital letters. It's very visible. Does altering your pledge to upgrade the memory affect your backer number? It does not. That's one of the reasons why we went this way. So to make sure that it does not impact your backer number. So thank you so much for that great question. So it's going down the list. So again, if I miss your question, I'll get to them. I see another one from Sam with capital letters. Question, John. Retro collect. I think people are following your trend. You should have patented that method or something like that. With all of the recent activity around Kickstarter, have any one of the big companies starting to notice? I think so. Again, right, we want to be more than just taking a notice, right? So that's one of the reasons why we want to continue making Kickstarter much more successful, so that we want them to basically say, hey, can we put our game on your platform? That's where I want to be at. And I think we can really make this happen together. So let's continue pushing it and make this happen together. And we're going to be doing our due diligence to make it happen so that we can get these awesome games. So thank you so much for that. That's a great question. Brian, John, any more thoughts on how you're going to sign the system? That's a great question. That's something that I'm still thinking about. There are several ideas that we have discussed with the development team, and we're going to try to come up with some more ideas on that. A lot of things are happening at the same time. So things are sort of, instead of getting one thing done and then get the next thing done, now it has become where that's no longer possible. So we have to do everything in parallel. So everything is getting delayed from making decision perspective, but we're doing so many things at the same time. So it's taking a little bit of time. So my apologies for that, but I'm going to make sure that it happens in a really good way. So we'll keep you updated on that. So thank you for that. Mark, John, what's your favorite drink so we can toast your success? Thank you for that. We'll toast to our success together. And my favorite drink is beer. And I will supply the beer. So let's make that happen. Hey, Christopher, how are you, my friend? Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to go down the list real quickly to find some more questions, and we'll try to end it quickly for the day. I don't want to keep you longer than right. So my apologies for delaying this, but let me try to get to this. Get to some of the last questions. Paul, John, you missed my question about T-shirts, my friend. Sorry about that. It's going to be difficult for me to find the question. So let me get to that after we're done, and I'll definitely get to it. So my apologies for that. Wow, there were so many more questions than I anticipated, which is a great thing. I love it. Thank you so much for that. Just the time is flying by too quickly. Let me try to get to some of the last questions. Let's see. And let me just pick 2 questions, and I'll end it for the day. How about that? One of them. Hey, Steve, how are you, my friend? Thanks for joining. Is the cliffhanger game on the store the old Laserdisc game? It is not. It's the other one. By, I think it was Data East. But we're also going to be looking to see if we can try to get the other one as well. So, but that game, the other game is like extremely huge. Yeah, that sort of that game. I'm not concerned about any other game. But that game, I was a little bit concerned about potentially bringing it over. But I think that's like 13 gigabytes or something like that. So that was pretty huge. But we'll look into it, and we'll keep you updated. Let me get to one more question. Drum roll. Which question would it be? Let's see. Wow, there are some hard questions here. Some of them, a couple questions came into my eyes, but one of the things that I try to avoid is making comparisons with others for respect of the others, obviously, right? I mean, if you want to PM me separately, if you like to hear my answer, then we can do that. But I don't want to. I try to avoid comparing iiRcade with others as much as possible, because the answer to that can get into not because I'm biased, right? I'm the CEO of this company, but I do not want to reflect anything bad about others because I think they're my friends, and we need to. I want everybody to succeed. But let me try to find one more question. And I don't see any question that I haven't answered yet. It may be me. So, but let's see. Yeah. Okay. I think let me stop here. We may have breaking record today. 1 hour and 21 minutes from what my tool is telling me. That's a long time. And I sincerely appreciate staying with me today for such a long time. I had a lot of fun with you today, playing games and talking to you about these topics that I sincerely love. It's like my favorite thing to do. So I really had a lot of fun. Sorry, I just saw a question mark. So let me get to the last question mark, and end for the day. Ryan Stump, you're the chosen one, my friend. How big in size is the largest game? Great question. Right now, in the list that I have, the biggest one I see is 2 gigabytes. And I think there are several 2 gigabytes, but that doesn't, at least for now, I haven't seen anything that goes beyond that. It also does not mean that it's never going to go over that. It certainly will. But great thing is, right, a lot of these are like RPGs and adventure games. So, right, if you solve it, I don't know, you may not want to play that again for a while. So you can probably remove it and then get it again when you want it later on. So you can manage memory that way. Like how I do with my other consoles. I do a lot of that. I do have a lot of games downloaded there. But again, today we have announced that we'll have upgrade memory option. If you're concerned about the memory size, then you can also certainly go with that route as well. Again, really appreciate everybody for staying with me. I really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. And Tuesdays and Fridays, I'm like really happy. So I appreciate it. Just to recap, if you can let me know, earlier the better, like maybe by Friday or so, then we can get some numbers so that we can order the right parts. And we'll make this happen. So thank you so much, everybody, again. And I really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun. And by the way, one more thing. Oh my God, I love that. This Friday, we are thinking of doing another big announcement. Hint, hint, wink, wink, wink. So it will be great if you can join on Friday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Last Friday was awesome, I think. And this Friday, we'll try to have a lot more fun as well. So thank you so much again for joining. I appreciate it. We'll see you again on Friday. Have a fantastic week. Thanks again, guys. See you soon. Bye.